All right, now, despite the left's efforts to keep Trump locked in a New York courtroom, Democrats' 2024 hopes they're growing worse by the day. And now, according to this shocking Politico report, privately, many Democrats are in full freak-out mode over Joe Biden's chances in November. James Carville again expressing his frustration with Joe and the Democratic Party. Take a look.
We keep wondering why these young people aren't coming home to the Democrats, why blacks are not coming home to the Democrats. Because Democratic messaging is full of that's why. And talk about cost of living. And we're going to help deal with this. And don't talk about GAFA and student loans.
My friend James Carville got it right. Meanwhile, a recent Biden trip is raising eyebrows after he visited his daughter-in-law's house Sunday night ahead of her expected testimony in Hunter's gun crime trial. That's set to begin on June the 3rd, a couple of days away. Earlier today, our very own Peter Doocy did ask the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, about the visit. And, of course, she had no answers, as per usual. Take a look.
Why did President Biden have a private meeting with a witness who plans to testify in court against his son?
And he visited her as that anniversary is approaching. He visited her days before the anniversary of the passing of his son. And she is family. She was married, obviously, to his late son.
So they did not talk about her testimony?
This was not about that. This was about literally the 9th anniversary of the passing of his son. That is upcoming in days.
Forgot the dated Hunter part. Anyway, here with reaction, former 2024 presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy is with us. So, Politico, Dems, full-blown freakout over Biden. Minority voters bolting from Biden could mean a disaster for Democrats. Carville, Democratic messaging is full of Adam Schiff. Stop ignoring the economy. And by the way, then suggesting Democrats steal Trump's medical records. He may have secondary syphilis. I didn't know it was Dr. James Carville, but that's him. Putting all of that aside, I am convinced, Vivek, and you tell me if I'm wrong, regardless of the outcome of this trial, I don't think it has any impact on the election. Thoughts?
Look, I think it's a win-win for Donald Trump right now, where the American people have seen through the farce that is this trial in Manhattan. It is one of the weakest cases that have ever been brought against a prominent person, and it is a shameful stain on our history that most Americans across the political spectrum understand. So that's the good news, Sean. Here's the bad news. The reason they have set the debate in June 27th, the earliest presidential debate in history, and as far as I know, the first time it's happened before either party's nominating convention, is that I think it is the final trial balloon for Joe Biden. It's their way of having him jump through the final hoop before he earns that nomination. And so the other side, they're diabolical. They're one step ahead on this, as they frequently are, where if Joe Biden underperforms there, that's when I expect they will restart the race, possibly with a new nominee. So we're doing well now, no doubt about it. But complacency is not an option. We can't just worry about the other side. We got to do the best job we can about saying who we are, what we stand for, and showing up in non-traditional locations like the Bronx or the Libertarian Party convention, likely the places where Donald Trump has actually been, to demonstrate leadership in leading the entire country.
I've said that, Joe Biden is one major fall away from losing that nomination as he continues to deteriorate seemingly rapidly and in an accelerated fashion. I really have begun to believe you may very well be right. This may be his final test, and I don't know if there's enough Red Bull to keep him awake or jack him up enough to get through that debate without a teleprompter like he had at the State of the Union.
Red Bull or worse, I will say, Sean. And here's what I will say. In 2016, you had actually many of those reporters and debate moderators literally showing Hillary Clinton the questions beforehand. But one of the things Donald Trump has done better than Joe Biden is he has shown up in front of American audiences, even in the last 2 weeks, who aren't filled with people who agree with him. That's the best form of debate preparation he possibly could have. And as a U.S. president, that's what you want. You want a leader who's willing to actually engage with alternative viewpoints rather than hiding in their White House basement. So you mark my words, I think that regardless of what Joe Biden does, he's going to underperform in that debate.
Do you think any outcome in this case matters in terms of voters in their ultimate decision-making?
I think either outcome is going to favor President Trump, and here's why. Once that outcome is behind us, people will see in the not guilty case, what are they going to see? This was a sham trial. This was a trial where Alvin Bragg made a commitment to voters saying that he was going to go after Donald Trump. You name the man, I'll show you the crime. That was his mentality. That's exactly what he did. In the case where he's convicted, nobody in the United States of America could still possibly tell you what exactly was the crime that Donald Trump committed. And if he's being sentenced on that basis, they will see the injustice of that as well. So this has backfired as it should. And thankfully, we will be able to end the weaponization of justice when Trump wins that next term.
You know, it's amazing. People forget Bill Clinton's approval rating went above 70% after he was impeached. American people don't seem to have a tolerance for politics at this level. And this is worse than it's ever been by far. Vivek, thank you.